where those who perceive truth may strive to make others see.
A big, powerful America, and shoot them for what?
On that continent, we are trying to forge a new identity for which we need each other.
Good evening, Blackbirds. This is your host for today, June 27, 2024, in Denver, Colorado, North America and Earth. Now, today's topic is about Julian Assange. It appears, or not it appears, he's taken a plea deal, and I really want to talk about really details surrounding his case and the plea deal in general. He's been charged with one count of conspiracy to receive national defense information, 3 counts of obtaining national defense information, 2 counts of receiving national defense information, 3 counts of disclosure of national defense information, 1 count of conspiracy to commit computer intrusion and attempted computer intrusion, 4 counts of unauthorized access to a computer, and 1 count of engaging in conspiracy to commit computer intrusions, and 2 counts of aggravated identity theft. When it comes down to this case, it's really an element of what we're calling the really, when it comes down to the espionage laws, they seem to stack the deck when it comes down to people exposing crimes of the government. When I say they, I mean entities that do not want information disclosed to the public. I also want to make sure everyone's clear on this. There was no victim in regard to these disclosures. There was a point in the trial where there was somebody literally had to apologize because this was supposedly a thing in terms of someone was actually harmed during as a result of these disclosures. No one was harmed. In particular, Forbes released snippets of the briefing, and what really stuck out to me was this guy who was really in charge of closing this briefing. He wasn't aware of the case. This case wasn't important enough to get someone who was well versed into this, the whys of Julian Assange and why we would see that today. For those that don't know, Julian Assange is the founder of WikiLeaks, and when it comes down to before Assange, whistleblowers were chased after, but never who the whistleblowers came to. After Julian Assange, the case is important because it went above and beyond a whistleblower. In regard to this particular news segment, it was Forbes, something published by Forbes on YouTube, and this guy had very selective memory, and really it came down to remembering this but forgetting that, or he was able to remember something, and he urged us to remember that the fact that no one was harmed due to these revelations doesn't really discount the fact of the revelations being being judged as illegal by the DOJ. There wasn't anyone found to be harmed, and he wasn't able to really answer a lot of questions that I think a lot of us really wanted to hear. And when it comes down to these charges, they seem to stack the deck against any whistleblower under these espionage laws. Being able to go after a public publisher rather than a journal, rather than the actual explorer itself, it's something that I really want known, because it sets a precedence for people in the future when not only whistleblowers, in terms of making an example from them, but going a step further in terms of targeting publishers. This is criminalizing the act of talking to the whistleblower. So, in the future, which is still up for grabs right now, as far as I can see, but in terms of these guys, publishers, they have been criminalized from the fact of accepting whistleblowers. So, in the future, I expect that publishers will be scared to accept the whistleblowers. Whistleblowers will be de-incentivized to even go to publishers about anything. Now, in terms of this Espionage Act, this really comes out of this really stems from laws before the espionage laws themselves. They were kind of more broadly treated as treason laws, and this it seems like, whenever there is an enemy, if someone is going to that enemy and giving them information about whatever process or whatever they may be handing the enemy, I think really what this really does is it solidifies the idea that the people in this particular case of the enemy being really, we really have to dig deep and ask ourselves who is being protected at this particular case, if we're the ones having if we're the ones being, where this information is being disclosed to, because the treason laws in the past, they were, ultimately this broad set of laws that was this broad set of laws. This was this element of really the treason laws. It stems from the idea of during times of war, and we don't want to give sensitive information to the enemy. And the we in that case being the people who are on one side versus the other side. This right here, this is protecting literally the government as an entity, it seems, and it sets a precedence from really when it comes down to this element of treason and what treason was in the past, and these treason laws, or Julian Assange, how he would be treated under these treason laws, I really, really want you guys to look at Daniel Ellsberg. This is a figure who was known for leaking classified documents during the Vietnam War, the Pentagon Papers, in terms of exposing really what was done and how the United States acted abroad during times of war. And really the outcome here were literally we seen charges dismissed due to government misconduct. This idea of really charges being dismissed due to governmental misconduct is really what I'd expect to see today, even under these espionage laws. The government is really setting itself apart from the people with this particular case. It seems like even having this case really on any platform, period. The element of really journalism is under threat, and it's important that you guys understand journalism, when it came down to press conferences, right, when presidents would have to answer questions, we had people who were asking difficult questions. And I think nowadays we have literally what do we have? We have press conferences where the questions are in regard to protecting people, as if the information will harm the people. The information will harm the people rather than the legality of really our government in these events. It's going to get a lot harder for this realm of journalism if this continues. It does seem like this case represents a dark turn that we've taken, and I really, really want us to understand the idea of really treason laws, the Espionage Act, and who laws like this are protecting nowadays versus who they would protect in who they protect under in this time of war where treason laws were known to protect one side versus another side. And this element here, I think it's important that more people pay attention, because of really our court system really being used as a weapon to legalize illegal activity. We need to, really, really understand what's going on and what continues to take place under this guise of a judicial system. Thank you. Please like and subscribe. Also, check out. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.